came outside and the sun is shining. It's beautiful. I was feeling pretty good. I went on a vacation. I got all rested. The snow is melting. It won't be long until it's spring here on the farm, which has me freaking out, losing my mind because I haven't started a single seed. And that means I'm so far behind and the season hasn't even begun. My first seedlings I always do in the mini soil blocks, which I can't even make. Ian has to help me out with that. I don't know if I have soil on hand. I know I have my seeds at least, but you know, the season hasn't even begun and here I am. And the whole goal for this year is to be more on track, more on the ball. And if I don't catch up, like now, it's gonna mess up the entire season.
This here is the soil blocker I'm gonna be using today. It just makes these tiny little ones. We are gonna be doing them on trays like this. I'm on tray 20. This is tray 20 here. And it's 10:30. I've been going at it for a while. It's not a quick job to use the little mini soil blocker, and it's definitely not my favorite. Serina has been stressed about, you know, starting the season behind schedule a little bit on the seed starting. So that's gonna give her enough soil blocks that she can just keep planting and planting and planting. She can get all caught up and she can, you know, just relax. I'm curious exactly how long it takes me to make a tray of these. There we go. That's the last one. It is just over 4 minutes to do this tray. So, you know, there's a little bit of efficiency of, you know, getting the technique down. I definitely wasn't going that fast on the first tray. It was like, you know, you start these tasks again that you just haven't done in a year and you're like, you know, how did I do that again? What was my conclusions? And then slowly it comes back to you. You're like, and with the mini soil blocker, what came back to me was like, oh yeah, this thing. Tomorrow will be another day, another set of tasks.
Keeping on a schedule causes me a lot of stress here on the farm, but the thing I worry about the most is the weather. Everything I do here is dependent on it. Even though I appreciate a warm February day, I know this is an extreme weather pattern and I can't plan for climate instability. REN is a simple and effective way to make a difference in the climate crisis. REN is a website where you calculate your carbon footprint, then offset it by funding a diverse mix of carbon reduction projects like tree planting, mineral weathering, and rainforest protection. I hopped on their website to calculate my carbon footprint, and it was a lot higher than I hoped. No one can reduce their carbon footprint to zero, but you can offset it. Once you sign up to make a monthly contribution, you receive monthly updates from the projects you support. I'm personally interested in the biochar in California project because I'm interested about the potential that biochar has in farming. It will take a lot to end the climate crisis, and you can start helping today by learning more at ren.co. The first 100 to sign up will get their first month of the subscription covered by REN for free. Right. Well, I'm feeling pretty good having all of these soil blocks made. You know, this gives me the ability to get started, which I didn't have. So having these just is taking some of the stress off, knowing that I can just come out here and put the seeds in. Of course, putting the seeds in is gonna take a long time. The first step to being able to bring the chaos into control and to get ourselves back on track is we need to figure out what exactly is even happening here. So I knew it was a problem that I didn't have any seeds started yet, but it was such a big problem because I honestly, until like I went through my seeds and made a plan here, I didn't know even what I had to start. There's a plan now, there's a course of action. We're gonna hopefully get this all back on track. What I need to do today is a whole tray of yarrow. That's like a half bed of yarrow. We're gonna do a whole tray of rudbeckia. We're doing Indian summer this year. Another half bed of it. 2 full trays of feverfew. I have 2 varieties. I have a single and a double, so 1 each of those. And then I have perennials. I need about 2 trays for the perennials. I'm doing some Fama scabiosa. I also have some echinops. I have my champion campanula. There's bits and pieces. So I think with 8 trays, I should get us back on track. But that's just what I do in the mini soil blocks. The mini soil blocks I use for the stuff that is gonna get potted up and grows really slowly. I have a few other things that need to get done. I have some snapdragons. I probably need to start, 4 very densely planted trays of snapdragons. We're gonna be doing lots and lots of snapdragons. As I was going through my seeds, I found bells of Ireland. These need to get some exposure to cold to help the germination. So, I want to do a lot of this. I need to get this dealt with to be able to make it happen. And then the thing that's probably stressing me out the most is my ranunculus and anemones. I have 1,300 anemones. I have 1,400 ranunculus. The plan is to do a lot of these. These made us a lot of money, but the problem is they take 100 days before they bloom. And here we're sitting in February and I don't even have them started yet. I'm starting to count off those numbers and it's making me very nervous. The one thing about these flowers is they need the cool weather. As soon as we hit warm weather, they just finish. They don't bloom any longer. And last year we were really lucky. We had beautiful, beautiful anemones and ranunculus, but we also had strangely cold weather. I can't depend on that again. So if I don't get these going, we may end up having nothing out of this instead of the thousands and thousands of dollars that we planned on. Last year, we had a lot of success doing just flowers. We had more success than we anticipated having. But we also were, constantly behind the ball. We were, just never able to catch up. And that being just a little bit behind the ball eventually led to things really falling apart by late summer. We didn't have flowers out on the farm and, it made for slower sales and, a more difficult end of season for us. I don't want that again. That had a very real, emotional and physical toll on us. The whole plan for this year is to be more focused, to be more efficient, to not be letting ourselves get overwhelmed. And so, this doesn't bode well for following through on those plans. We need to get things, back on track.
Well, Serina, if you want to get back on track, you got to start seeding. So get to it.
I think it's going to be a late night. Hey, how's it going in here?
Not too bad. Getting some cleanup done. So guess what I found while we were cleaning? Check this out. Open it up.
Well, I know we have a few things. I know we have like Leah's bulbs that still need to get put.
More tulips.
Gotta be kidding me. I don't know how we lost track of these. These are supposed to be in the greenhouse. I know that we have like Leah's, like we bought her some hyacinths and they're looking pretty bad. They need to get potted up. But can't believe we lost track of like an entire case of tulips. I don't know if they're gonna bloom, but that's definitely more for the list, more things that need to get done like yesterday.
This is why it's a good thing that I've been doing this cleanup, because at least we still have enough time that we can get these into the ground.
Yeah, no, totally.
Cleaning the shop has been, you know, probably my most anticipated task to do for like over a year. All last summer I was like, oh, I wish I could clean this shop, but I just didn't have the time, and I knew it was going to take a long time to put aside to do it. There was always something that was, you know, a higher priority. And now that I'm really, you know, sinking my teeth into it and getting it done, I'm starting to feel that anxiety that I had about being messy, you know, kind of get released. I'm organizing everything into baskets so that when I go to look for something, all I have to do is, you know, look at the label on the outside and then pull out the basket, find what I need. So I think it's going to be a really good system. These baskets are amazing. They're strong and they're big. And so, you know, I'm just putting everything into those and then getting everything to the walls and then having a big open space in the middle. All of this over here, that has to be sorted through, but that's all going to be gone. So, you know, you can already see this space probably looks totally different than the big old mess that it normally appears to be on camera. And, you know, it's going to be nice to be able to move freely in here.
Next up is Bells of Ireland. The plan for these is that I'm going to seed full trays of them and then I'm going to stick them outside. The exposure to the wet and the cold is going to prep them for germinating, and then when I need them to germinate, I'm going to bring them in. The warmer weather is going to make them think it's spring, they'll sprout, and then I'll be able to get them back outside to get them planted. But I need to do a lot of these. I need to do 12 trays in total because I need to have multiple staggers of them. So we need to get some dirt and we need to get some trays. What we need now is some reinforcements.
Hi, help me.
Like, we don't need all that, right?
Come with me.
Is that?
Got the things off the ground.
Why? No! You're not allowed in!
Oh, you're getting yourself nice and dirty.
I shake.
Okay, not too deep.
No, it's back again. And then put the cheese.
Okay, 2 in each hole.
It feels so satisfying.
Hey, no, that's not, do it properly.
You waiting?
No, don't do it properly, please. Oh, these the speed demons.
Hey, this is your second one.
What I'm doing is I'm gonna get some snapdragons started. What I do with snapdragons is a little bit different than what I got the kids working on. This is 1,000 pack of snapdragon seeds. It is this incredibly fine dust. There is no world in which even me, focusing as hard as I can put individual seeds into each cell. So what I do instead is I just sprinkle a mass of seeds over the top and then I let them germinate. When they're done, I then take the plug out, I pull it apart, and then I individually pop up every little tiny little baby snapdragon. It seems like it's a lot of work, but it's way quicker than trying to fight with all this seed. The seeds that I'm starting are Chantilly, which is a nice early snapdragon, and then also Costa, another early one. These I'm getting started extra early because they're gonna go into my greenhouse.
I am seeding.
Oh, it's a race now.
I am the lead.
Whoever does it the best, that wins.
I tried my best. It's so little.
You're spoiled, Sam, because you've been doing sunflowers
You're like
so
over
much.
here.
Sam, what do you like better, these or sunflowers?
Sunflowers.
You do it over.
They're so little, Mommy.
of focus. Next, we're doing the other Costas. We got Costa Mix, and Costa Silver, and Costa Lavender. Last tray.
Then I get to watch out.
Oh, you did the seeds dance. All done. All done. Yeah.
This is the wash tray. This is the wash tray. Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot of relief of my stress now that all the seeds are done. I still have the ranunculus to do, which, you know, is a big job. 2,700 ranunculus and anemones is a lot, but I know I can get that done in a single day. The farm can be a lot. It's, you know, it's a lot for just one person or just, you know, me and Ian to do. You know, starting back up into the season, it's, you know, it's just a reminder of how easy it is to get overwhelmed with the mountain of work that we have ahead of us. It's so easy to get, you know, sucked into the days and lose track of the weeks. And when we do that, we fall behind. You know, it's always going to be the challenge. This is the challenge of, you know, the business that we're doing. It keeps us on our toes, and the stress can mount up really quickly without even realizing it. We're making progress. I'm starting to feel like we're gonna get this done in a reasonable amount of time. What we're working on now, the last thing on the list to getting caught up, is we are going to be soaking our ranunculus and our anemones. So I have a million different ones, so I need a million different buckets. Corms are kind of weird. The ranunculus and the anemones, they're dried out. You need to rehydrate them before doing anything with them. You know, this is ranunculus. They always remind me of little dried out squids, like something that you'd maybe find in an Asian food aisle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these into water. The hard thing about these is if you soak them too long, you can rot them. They're very sensitive to too much water. So we're gonna get them in water, keep them in there for a few hours. Once they look plump, once they look different, we know they're ready, we pour off the water, and then we start potting them up. We have a lot of different ranunculus this year. We bought some more classic soft colors from Van Noort, all these ones. We bought, you know, 1,000 bright colored ones from Unicorn Blooms, and then we have so many anemones that we're really excited about. There's only so many buckets. And we have to soak them all in separate buckets because we have to keep track of what is what. We can't mix these up. So we're gonna have quite the little mountain of these going. The anemone corms are like even weirder than the ranunculus. They're like these like old-fashioned railroad stakes. I'm always like, how does this turn into a plant? They're very, very confusing to me.
They kind of look like peanuts.
They come in different sizes. So the ones that I showed you were a 4-5, and then these are 3-3. These are the smallest that they come. So quite a difference. These are the ones that we're the most excited about. Blue.
Oh yeah.
Blue anemones. This is our, last year we were selling rainbow ranunculus bouquets, but what we needed was blue, and blue anemones in the mix is gonna be very exciting. We have 200 of this one.
Excited thinking about all the ranunculus bouquets.
I know.
They looked so good last year.
We were discussing what the plan is. We're gonna have 6 beds in total. We're gonna have 4 ranunculus beds, 2 in the greenhouse, 2 out in the field, and then we're gonna have 2 insanely packed beds of anemones in the greenhouse. So last year we had 1 ranunculus in the greenhouse, 2 out of the field that also had a little bit of anemones mixed in. So that's like double the abundance that we had last year. It's really exciting.
It's quite the collection you got there.
I know. It's gonna look good. Just a few this year. And now we wait. I've been letting the ranunculus soak for a bunch of hours now. So it's time to come and check them out and get the water out of there before it causes any issues. You can see now that they're soaked, they've changed color, and they've also become plump. You know, if I was to squeeze on this, they're flexible instead of brittle, and they're juicy. So these are looking good. They're looking ready. And it's the same idea with the anemones, right? These they've lightened up a little bit. You know, they still look like these weird spikes, but you know, they have a little bit of a resistance now. But now is when the work actually begins. Soaking them doesn't really take anything. It's getting them into the damp potting soil, getting them, you know, potted up and ready to sprout. That's gonna take the time. What are these crazy boys doing? I'm really excited about these ranunculus. Getting them out and working with them has just reminded me of everything that there is. There's so many colors. You know, it gets me really excited, right? Like, here we are, we almost have the things finished. We're almost back on track. And even though this doesn't look like anything right now, I know that what this is gonna look like is an incredibly beautiful spring. Well, that was a lot of ranunculus. We've never done that many. That was like 2,700. I think we ended up filling 28 trays in total, that's a lot of trays. So it feels really good to get that done. You know, the list is, you know, the deadlines are getting checked off. The list of things that we're behind on is disappearing pretty quickly, quicker than new things are popping up. So, you know, it feels really nice.
It's one of my favorite parts of the day to get stuff done. The kids are in bed, Serina's inside hanging out, looking at what I gotta do tonight. So I've got 2 crates of this copper image. Some of the bulbs were, you know, in pretty rough shape, so we opted to not put these in the raised beds that we did. You know, we put everything else in. We're gonna plant these just in some crates. And then this is the secret perfume. These are planted in the raised beds, but we left some out because we wanted to plant some to time them differently in crates in the greenhouse. This will take a little bit of time, but it's not going to take, you know, I don't think it'll take 2 hours. It feels good to be making some progress. You know, Serina was pretty stressed just about falling behind schedule and us not wanting to be, you know, forever behind schedule, because it feels like, you know, however you start the season is, you know, an indicator of how the season's going to go. I'm excited to, you know, kind of see it through to the end. All right, I'm done. 16 crates worth of tulips planted.
Is it good outside? Is it good outside? Feels kind of shocking to say this, but we did it. we got all the work that was stressing me out so much completed. I need to remember that here on the farm, it isn't just me. I don't have to do everything on my own. And when I'm starting to feel stressed out about deadlines or falling behind on work, there's people that I can turn to help me out. There's people like my family who can come in there and, you know, help me get a bunch of seeds into the ground quickly when I'm feeling like I'm not going to be able to do it. There's people like my friends who I can call on and, you know that they'll gladly give me a day. Now that I'm actually caught up, you know, ready to start the season on a good foot, I'm feeling more excited than ever about what it's going to be. Seeing all those seeds getting into soil, starting all those corms. I know that there's going to be an abundance of beautiful flowers out here so soon.